to Big Daddy Bakes. I'm Big Daddy, and today we're going to be making an apple galette. An apple galette is a freeform apple pie. It is the simplest apple pie that you'll ever make, and you don't have to have a huge amount of ingredients to do it. So let's get to it, and I'll show you how to do it. For this recipe you will need, and this is for our pastry crust, you're going to need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 12 tablespoons of butter that is well chilled. You want this very cold. 2 to 3 tablespoons of ice water, 1 large egg that's been beaten, and then we're going to need, for the filling, 3 Granny Smith apples, or whatever kind of apple you want. I find that almost any of them. I'm going to be using Cortland's, but just about anything will work for this. 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of flour, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a squeeze of lemon, and this is the juice of 1 lemon, and 1 egg. So we're going to start this recipe by making the pastry. And I have to admit, I'm not the best at making pastry. My grandmother could roll out a pie crust faster than you could blink and have it done in 3 seconds. I, on the other hand, am horrible at it. So this recipe is really, really forgiving. And so I think you'll see that it makes a really nice dough, and it tastes good, and it's buttery and delicious. So we're going to start off. I'm going to go ahead and crack my egg and beat it a little bit. Just to get this ready for when I need it. Alright. Now, I have my food processor set up, and I'm using this blade in it. So I'm going to put my flour in. I'll put the sugar. And I'm just going to pulse that once. Hey, alright, so I've got the lid on the food processor. I'm just going to pulse that a couple of times. And then I'm going to add the egg, and I'm going to add in the butter. I'm just going to put that around like that. And then I'm going to pulse that. Okay, so that was about 7-8 pulses, and I think it's going to need just a couple more. You want the butter to be about the size of a pea, so I'm going to do just a tiny bit more. Alright, I think that's where we need it. And then I'm going to put the top back on, and I'm going to set it on low speed, and I'm going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. And what we're looking for is a mass that will stick together, and that's what that does. So now I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to get some saran wrap, any kind of cling film, and I'm going to lay it down on the table. I'm going to put that down on it. But I'm going to kind of gently push this all together till it comes together. We want it round and flat. All right, so there's our dough. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. It should chill for about 30 minutes. So while the pastry is chilling, we're going to go ahead and prepare our apples. That's going to go on the inside. And basically we're just going to peel and core and then slice them very thinly. Are cut, so I'm going to cut them into quarters. I'm just going to go down the top of the apple and cut out the core. And then I'm going to slice thinly. I'm going to put that in. I'm about half done with these apples, so I'm going to put just a little bit of lemon juice over them to keep them from turning brown. Do just like that. And sauce. Alright, so there are our apples all sliced. I'm going to put a little bit more of the lemon on them, stir them around, and then I'm going to add the flour and the cinnamon. Sprinkle it over the top, as well as the brown sugar. I'm going to mix that up a little tiny bit, and then I'm going to put the egg in. Now if you're wondering what the egg is for, this is going to kind of combine everything together so it will stick better to the apples. I use the same trick a lot of times when I put apples in bread, like last week's item, and up in the corner I'll put a link to that where I was doing apple bread. So here is our mixture. This is ready to go, and as soon as the dough is chilled for 30 minutes, then we'll put it all together. Alright, so our dough has been in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes or so, and it has gotten quite solid. So I'm going to put some flour down. I'm going to sprinkle some on the top, and I'm going to sprinkle some on my rolling pin. I also have a sheet pan ready to receive the pie. I put in some parchment paper to line it. You could just spray the pan, but you're going to have a mess to clean up, and it's just easier to do it this way. Trust me, been there and done that enough times. So don't want to do that. So I'm going to just slowly roll this out. Needs to be about 16 inches or so. It's crackling just a little bit, so I'm going to kind of push it together, reintegrate it. Then I'm going to flip it over. Do the same thing and roll this out. As I said, I am not good at pastry. I'm kind of magic with bread dough, but pastry is scary because it never comes out exactly like I want it to, as you can see. Now there is another trick that you can use to do this, which is go and buy prepared pie dough. It's already rolled out. Your family and friends are never gonna know. Alright, I think that's about as big as I'm gonna do it. Now, there are two schools of thought on what you should do next. Some cut off this and make it very clean. I kind of like the frilly edges on the edge of this. So I'm going to leave mine. I'm going to roll it up on itself very carefully. Then I'm going to roll this back out onto my sheet pan. And then I'm going to take my apples. Now, you can arrange them or you can just place them. I'm going to, my apples are really kind of small, so I'm going to just place them. And you kind of want to drain these as you're putting them in the pie. So if there's liquid in the bottom, you kind of don't want all that liquid. It's going to make your crust soggy. Now, before I started this, I set my oven to 400 and it is right at it's ready to go. And the whole point of this is, even if it's not as pretty as you want, it's still going to taste very delicious. So I'm just going to turn this crust up. Just like that. Now, I'm going to bake this for about 40 to 45 minutes, and this crust will just turn golden and lovely. So here's our apple galette as it came out of the oven. It has a beautiful golden crust, and the smell, oh, it just smells so good. I just love the smell of apple pie. So try making this. It's really easy, and I know you'll love it. Thank you so much for joining us here on Big Daddy Bakes. If you like what I do here on the channel, please consider subscribing, liking, and also click the little bell icon so that you'll be notified each time that I release a video. Again, thank you so much for joining us.